Hello, everybody. And no, this is not a different person altogether. It's me, Mr.TheSweDragon, and why my voice sounds a lot deeper than normally is because I've been a bit sick lately. I'm starting to feel better, but yeah, I've been vomiting, I've been coughing, and my voice sounds a lot more deeper than usual. I kind of like how it sounds, so I figure, hey, may as well make something fun while I'm doing it. So I figure, hey, why don't we read some bad fanfiction? So let's go ahead and do so. Okay, so we're gonna be reading a fanfiction called Lego Island, The Warm Day, made by PS1 Fan 26. Let's see. Oh there, on. Ah. Oh there, on. Yeah, not feeling very great. So this is a story made in this published September 27, 2011. So that will make this about 13 years actually. Okay, I guess I should also give some background to the Lego Island. Lego Island is a Lego themed open world action adventure published by Mindscape. Released on September 6, 1997. As the second Lego video game overall, and the first one outside Japan. So it's not the very first Lego game. The first one was actually a platformer made in Japan. Pega Pico? What? Oh yeah, let's see. What the hell is that kind of thing? Wow. Yeah, it's basically a 3D adventure game where you walk around an island in a first-person perspective, playing as one of 5 minifigures who are residents of the island, including Pepperoni, who is the protagonist of this story we're gonna be reading. And it's basically about people living on an island. Some silly stuff happens, and there's this guy called a Brickster who causes chaos once in a while, trying to make life miserable for everybody because he's a jerk. Lego Island. The Warm Day. Pepperoni woke up to the sound of his alarm clock, parentheses, which was made of Legos. He answered it. Hello? He asked. And yes, I'm just gonna read all of the text, even the misspelled ones, and not to correct it or whatever. I'm probably gonna mispronounce the mispronunciation, but whatever. Also, I'm not gonna try to comment too much. Maybe at the end of the chapter, but anyway. Back to the story. Pepper, said a cheerful voice on the other side of the side. It was the infomaniac. It is a dude with the food. Please come over to the info booth. I have a surprise for you. I'm on it, Professor, said Pepper as he got off his pet and capered into the shower. Today was a big day for him. Whenever the infomaniac would call him, he would spring into action and go off to start a brand new day. And today was no exception. He went quick through the shower and brushed his teeth and skated out to the door to his work. Pepper, shouted Papa Lenny, his adopted father. I am so glad to see you. And it was true. Because we needed to confirm that it was indeed true that he was glad. Whatever. Papa Briccolini was the happiest man on Lego Island, for his son was Pepperoni, and he was married to Mama Briccolini, and life was grand. He told his adopt son to take a pizza off to the hospital to enter and return the lab ticks to eat. Yes, punctuation, commas, misspellings, this is gonna be a treat. And by the way, enter and return are real characters, and yes, they're named that. And yes, they're as stupid as they sound. Pepper's skateboard was off to the hospital, but on the way, his forehead started to sweat. It sure is the warm day, he muttered to himself, wiping his head with the cap. He got to the hospital. How's it going? He said. Not too good, the doctor said. We had 8 cases of heat stroke. And that's chapter 1. Yeah, so not an excellent start, but I hopefully remember it gets a bit more interesting later on. It was several weeks later, and the heat wave hadn't got anywhere. Pepper was sitting in his backyard, sweating at the warm days that had come to Lego Island. Papa Briccolini yelled from him to get over there. Or whatever. Yeah. Its spelling just gets even worse as it goes on, I recall. Oh dear. Pepper! Shouted the old cook. It's time to go to work. But it's way too hot, groaned Pepper, the delivery man. It doesn't matter, Papa Briccolini. Moaning and groaning, the pizza boy got up and went inside to work. His work was the same as his home, since his partents were the pizza chefs of Lego Island. All you got ought wonder where they got their ingredients from. Okay, a bit of context. In Lego Island, there's only one place to eat, which is the pizzeria. That's a joke they keep making reference to all the time. And they never explain where they get their ingredients from, or if there really is nothing else to eat. There is technically donuts that the cops eat, but those are the only cops who eat it. Everybody else just eats pizza, which is definitely healthy. Okay, let's see. Where was I? He headed into the house and started to make the day's pizza to deliver to Lego Islander. Boy, it's hot enough that pizza could almost be hot enough to cook them without the ovens or the pizzeria. Pepper to his dad. That's for blasphemy, said Papa, smacking Pepper across his face. Yes, child abuse. It was 40 in the evening by the time they began to get done with the day's pizza. I told you, old man, said Pepper with an angry smile. I told you that no one would buy these pizza on hot days like today. That's it, said Papa Briccolini. I've had enough of your sass. Get the heck out of my house and don't come back till you've learned manner. Pepper gathered his two belongings in a sack and left his ooze to seek his fortunes on Lego Island. I'll show him, he whispered. He walked for 48 miles until he came to the ground. Wait, what? He walked for 48 miles until he came to the ground. How would it take you 48? How would you be able to walk 48 miles to get to the ground when you literally live on the ground? And let me point out, they don't live in like a sky, they live in a normal island. And I'm pretty confident that the island is not that big to have 48 miles in total of land. That's weird, he said. Just then Goroon started to shake and a crack began open it up. That was when he... What was it? Find out next time. Meanwhile, the infomaniac was sitting in his throne in his office. He was 1,000 years old and he was very tired. Yeah, apparently the infomaniac, a crazy old man who, despite being so old that he's there 1,000 years, he can still keeps popping up all over the place, jumping around like crazy. I don't think he has a throne room though. His office, which is the information center, yeah. It's basically a place where in the first game you could play around, you could change characters, teleport to certain parts of the map, and you could also go to the observatory to play around with the sky and change the skybox. Thousands of years earlier, the infomaniac was a Thousands of years earlier, the infomaniac was a little kid who got a bunch of Lego bricks for his birthday. From these, he decided he would make several Lego islands. He called these Soup Island, Sandwich Island, Key Lime Island, and Lego Island. For a while, it was fun. But being mortal, he soon grew bored of his solitary existence and decided to make a new friend, literally. He reached into his box of Legos and pulled out a human head. Ah! That's horrifying. Anyway, He pulled out a human head and some arms and legs, and made a new person to be his friend. He had done it. At the age of 9, he had become the first male ever to create life. Oh god. His new pal was called Brickster Morales, and he was dressed up in stripes. So I built Lego Island, my first new friend. I'll name you... ... The maniac muttered to himself as he snapped on the arm. The Brickster, he finished. And because you know so much, I'll call you the Infomaniac, said his new BFF. Okay, he whispered. They were good friends for a while until the Infomaniac grew restless. He only had one friend and he only had one friend and he wanted more. But the Brickster got angry and said, "No, buddy, I am the Brickster, and I am the only one who will get made on this island. I'm tired of this ghastly parody of democracy." What? Wouldn't democracy require, more than 2 people? You can't have more. You can't have a democracy without at least 3 people. 2 people to run against each other and 1 person to vote. You can't have it with 2. That doesn't work. And with that, he used some plastic bricks to build himself a submarine and went off to build his own island called Oogle Island, which is only made of inside-out Legos. What? But what the hell is like inside-out Legos? The fuck? The Infomaniac signed and put his head on his hands. What? Like did he detach his head and put it in his hands? What? Whatever. This was all so long ago, and he wondered if he had learned his lesson. Even now, it's been weeks, and Pepper still hadn't called him back. He wondered if his own creation had once again decided to rebel and do their own thing, and try to decide what he would do if they did. Just then the phone rang. It was Papa Briccolini. "Infomaniac," he said. "My son has disappeared. I don't know where he is. We had harsh words, but I don't think it was my fault. But he is gone." "Well, now we can't have that, can we?" the Infomaniac said good-naturedly on the phone. "Just a minute, I will check his tracking chip." What? I'm pretty sure there's never been a tracking chip in the Lego Island games, ever. At least I don't think. I don't know, I don't recall any. It was a simple matter to find Pepper, and he flew over to him in his Lego copter. Pepper had run into the ground and was holding on to his knee. What is this? What are you trying to say here? He ran straight into the ground? What? Oh dear. Anyway, but just as the Infomaniac was about to land, there was a huge rumbling from the ground to reveal continued. Oh dear, I can feel my brain self-dying while reading this. There was a bush, a wang, and a holler, and something came shooting out to the ground. What is it? Pepper in alarm, Buddy, the Brickomaniac, called him back. But then a Lego miner came flying out of the ground, and he dug himself out with his pickaxe. He squinted in the bright daylight. "What's going on?" he says. "Why is there green things everywhere?" Everywhere. Let me try it again. "Why is there green things everywhere?" The Infomaniac laughed. "Why are you on your Lego Island, where I built a long time ago? I am pleased that you arrived, new friend. Are you a rock reader?" "No!" said the miner. "I am a rebel, and I am escaping from the Gouda below the surface of the Earth. Or should I say, Mars? Actually, I'm not sure anymore." Okay, so I think this is basically a reference to, what's the game called? Red. I think it was Red. Red Faction, there we go. The game where you play as a Martian and not as an alien, but a person born in Mars. Well, I don't know if you were born in Mars, but whatever. He plays a guy helping a bunch of humans who are born on Mars rebel against their corporation exploiting them. And one of the games had this cool physics engine where you can just break every single destructible building. And I played that game. It was fun, but I remember some missions being a pain in the ass. Anyway, so this miner is supposed to be from that game, which is wonderful. The reference will be a bit more obvious if I recall. Well, said Ifemaniac, everyone is welcome Lego Isald, as long as they put their own weight. And a bunch of symbols. I have no idea what it's supposed to represent. A short time later, the rebel miner was skateboarding with Pepper. Okay, but you got to follow me, said Pepper challengingly. I'm trying, said the miner, but I wasn't trying very hard. Pepper did a skateboard ollie and a kickflip 360. He's shooting off the ramp and spins and spins and spins, and the miner who's used to less gravity started barfing. He barfed a pizza and it could not be delivered. Aye yee yee, said Papa Bricklin, who's watching the whole thing from a nearby tree. Whoa. What? Finally, it was the end of the day and he had a single pizza because the miner kept puking his guts out on every pizza Papa made. How rude. You know, this attitude is unhelpful, says Pepper sportedly as he gives a sharp rap to Miner head. You'll get yours, says Miner. To be continued. Okay, last chapter. After all the fun and excitement of the day, Pepper said, okay, Miner, now it's time to meet a very good friend. It was time to meet a very old friend of Pepper's. Pepper knocked the door hard. SFX. Bam! 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 Who is it? Came the voice from the other side of the front door. Oh gosh, said Pepper. It's me, Pepper. The door swung open and Frazier was very glad to see him. Pepper, the dude with the food, he shouted in happiness. Okay, I don't know who Frazier is. I don't really care anymore. Pepper and Frazier embraced warmly on to see the miner standing there looking tough. Yeah, cut the mushy stuff, he said through his teeth, while pump you full of lead. Why you have guns if you are miners, said Frazier. We shoot through rocks to mine out the ore. Yes, that makes sense. Just then Frazier got the great idea of all of them go to Lego Beach. They relaxed at the seashore and Frazier told Pepper about his day. They might have built a sandcastle that looked like the Oracle Corporation headquarters. See, Red Faction reference. They laughed and joked and bought ice creams. It seems like the best day. Except it wasn't. One of the guards popped his head from the sand and looked at them. I got you now, miner, he said to the guard. The miner screamed and ran towards the town, and the guardie came out from the beach and brushed the sand off him. Pepper and Frazier looked at each other. They knew they would have to choose whenever to save their new friend. One more course. Pepper and Frazier looked at each other. They knew they would have to choose whenever to save their newfound friend or stop the process of the law. Continued! No. No continued. That's the last chapter.